In level 4, we will be evaluating sum and difference formulas. In my opinion, this is not a super hard level 4. It's pretty doable. And the way it works is we take a trig function that's not on the unit circle, and we use one of these formulas to evaluate it. Normally, I wouldn't be able to evaluate sine of 5 pi over 12 without a calculator because I don't know those coordinates. It's not on the unit circle. So what I do is I split that angle apart either into the sum of two angles or the difference of two angles that either adds or subtracts to 5 pi over 12. So if I split sine of 5 pi over 12 apart to be 2 pi over 12 plus 3 pi over 12, that's still the same as 5 pi over 12. Those reduce to be sine of pi over 6 plus pi over 4. And so I've split 5 pi over 12 into two angles that add together to give me 5 pi over 12. And when I reduce those angles, I find two angles that are on the unit circle, pi over 6 and pi over 4. So this is my alpha and this is my beta. And it doesn't matter which one is alpha, which one is beta. If I had pi over 4 first and pi over 6 second, that wouldn't matter. Now, since it's a sine function and I split it into a sum, I'm going to use this top formula. And I just plug in pi over 6 and pi over 4 for alpha and beta. So I get sine of alpha, which is pi over 6, times cosine of beta, which is pi over 4, plus cosine of alpha, which is pi over 6, times sine of beta, which is pi over 4. And then I evaluate these. Sine of pi over 6 is 1/2. Cosine of pi over 4 is radical 2 over 2. Plus cosine of pi over 6, which is radical 3 over 2, times sine of pi over 4, which is root 2 over 2. And then I simplify. So multiply the tops, we get radical 2, multiply the bottoms over 4, plus multiply these tops, radical 6 over 4. And I can add the tops together, but I can't actually combine radical 2 and radical 6 since they're different radicals. So that's as far as I can go. Radical 2 plus radical 6 over 4. The next one actually has a typo. It was supposed to be cosine of 165. Cosine. Not all angles actually work for this. It has to be possible to split them apart into the sum or difference of two angles on the unit circle. So 165 works. I could split that apart, and since now I'm working in degrees, I want 2 degree measures from the unit circle that are going to add up to 165. So I could split that apart to be cosine of 45 plus 120. That adds up to 165. And so 45 can be my alpha, and 120 can be my beta. And since I split it into a sum and it's cosine, I'm going to use this formula, and I just plug it in. So cosine of alpha, or 45, times cosine of beta, which is 120, minus sine of alpha, which is 45, times sine of beta, which is 120. Now I evaluate. Cosine of 45 is radical 2 over 2. Cosine of 120 is negative 1/2. Minus sine of 45, which is radical 2 over 2, times sine of 120, which is radical 3 over 2. And I simplify, multiply the tops, we get radical 2 over 4, and that's negative, minus Multiply the tops, we get radical 6, and the bottom over 4. And then combine those, we get negative radical 2 minus radical 6 over 4. So that's it.